Recently, Russia announced a unilateral Orthodox Easter ceasefire, a move designed to broadcast a message of peace to the U.S. and their domestic audiences. This is a diplomatic maneuver designed to build future leverage. While they present a narrative of peace, they continue to launch aviation bombs and FPV drones. If you pull up a standard map of the conflict right now, the boundaries barely move. It looks like a static, grinding war of attrition. On the ground, troops are locked in trenches, fighting for minimal gains in desolate fields and shattered tree lines. These static boundaries are only one layer of the conflict. While the physical front is fixed, the networks feeding it are hollowed out from within. Tracking the actual health of the invasion requires looking past the dirt and examining the industrial arteries feeding these positions. Ukraine's opening move ignores the trenches entirely. They are sending long-range drones hundreds of miles into the Russian interior. Russian air defenses are highly concentrated around major hubs like Moscow. This defensive posture leaves their industrial heartland wide open to low-altitude drone strikes. Into that gap, Ukrainian operators are hitting the deep state, oil refineries that fuel transport, and the specific defense factories responsible for assembling high-precision components. Strikes on these manufacturing facilities, combined with the degradation of their energy infrastructure, have capped Russian production at 4 to 6 mass strikes per month. They have hit an industrial ceiling. We know this because analysis of missile debris shows that Russia is no longer pulling from long-term stockpiles. They are firing high-precision weapons that were manufactured only weeks before use. By hitting the assembly plants and the energy that powers them, Ukraine chokes off invading forces before the weapons can even enter the transit phase. Last year, Ukraine crippled maritime logistics when they collapsed the Kerch Bridge and systematically dismantled local ferry networks. That forced the Russian military to push almost all their cargo through exposed overland routes and railways to supply the southern front and Crimea. These transit networks operate on a massive scale. The Russian military relies on heavy rail echelons to move its equipment, a system they have relied on since the Soviet era. But targeting capabilities have evolved. Ukrainian operators are no longer waiting for these trains to sit idle at a depot to strike them. They are now hunting moving mechanical targets mid-journey, chasing locomotives across the open landscape. Intercepting them far behind enemy lines requires advanced control systems. This technology is now seeing regular use. Mastering dynamic targeting turns a massive, rigid rail network into an indefensible liability. This brings us to the final stage of the supply chain. The soldiers sitting in the trenches, waiting for deliveries that will never arrive. Above them is a consistently expanding kill zone. Frontline units use custom-built drones to systematically eliminate any isolated target that pushes forward. This feeds into a maneuver-based strategy. Ukraine willingly trades small, strategically useless pieces of territory to stretch Russian lines. Once a unit occupies a new position, the drone kill zone isolates them. They are immediately cut off from reinforcements and destroyed because the logistics to sustain them no longer exist. Holding ground in modern war is physically impossible when your logistical spine has already been severed hundreds of miles away. This chart shows the result of that multi-layered strategy. We are seeing a rapidly shifting, lopsided exchange ratio. For every square kilometer they occupy, the Russian military pays a significantly higher price in machinery and personnel than they did in previous years of the war. You don't defeat a numerically superior army by fighting them for every inch on the map. You dismantle their physical capacity to wage war from the inside out. Without a way to protect factories or moving trains, capturing a new square kilometer of land becomes a liability that Russia cannot afford to sustain.